you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification. People tell me all the time that there is one huge advantage about living this lifestyle. Actually two, and both I guess wrap around money. Is one, this lifestyle doesn't cost as much, which I have proven over and over and over and over and over again that it does. Everybody will argue, well, you don't have to pay rent. And I have argued that my rent is having to buy a new car eventually. Eventually I will have to buy a new car. So I need to save up for that new car today. And even if I just wanted to buy a car on a loan, everybody knows I'm debt free, so I'm going to pay cash for it. But let's just say I wanted to buy it on a loan. I'm still having to pay that car payment, which would be considered my rent. And then the second point that they always say is you don't have to work, a regular 9-to-5 job. Okay, that's fair. But I do work, and I work about 40 hours a week to bring in enough income to support me and Carolyn. The advantage I have is I can pick my hours, whereas you have to go to work at a certain time, come back to home at a certain time. So let's make this comparison that you have to go to a 9-to-5 job and I don't. Okay, but when you get home from your 9-to-5 job, you walk in your house and you turn on your light switch. And voila, you have lights. Now, you have to pay that electric bill. I'll give you that. When I get home, I have to start the generator, charge the batteries, turn on the lights. So I got this whole sequence of things I got to do. And here's the thing. I still have to pay the electric bill. This is where the breakdown really starts to happen. Where I think people are not understanding this lifestyle is not all that it's been cracked up to be here on YouTube. I have to not only work to pay for the electric bill, the gas for the generator, the maintenance for the generator, solar panels if you want solar panels. Solar panels, you're still going to have a generator. It's just inevitable. The solar panels aren't always going to charge full capacity. And if you're not wanting to replace batteries all the time, you need to top off your batteries at least once a week. Throughout the week on my generator, I do a fast charge. I put it on 10 amps and a couple hours it's charged. But a couple times a week, I have to do a slow charge so I can get that thing to top off. Well, the same thing with solar panels. You're paying for the electric and you're having to work for the electric. Much different than a house. Heat. When you get home and you turn on the heater, you just crank up that thermostat a little bit and you sit down on the couch and wait for the house to heat up. And voila, you got heat. Of course, now you have to pay for that heater. I get it. You got to go to work and you got to get money so you can pay for the gas or electric or whatever to have that heat. Absolutely. Totally agree. Well, when I get home, I got to get everything put away because when we travel, we have to, put everything away. The propane tanks I store so they don't roll around. I shut down the heater. Well, when I get home, I have to unpack everything, then turn on the heat. Remember, it's cold, so there's a 10 or 15 minute process just unpacking everything so I can turn on the heat. And I still have to pay for propane. So I'm having to work to pay for the propane, and I'm having to work to turn on the heater. When you go home and you go to the bathroom, you flush the toilet and you never think about it again. When I get home and go to the bathroom, depends on what kind of setup you got. You either will have to deal with the trash bags, to throw away your waste, compost toilets, whatever you want to deal with. Or if you have an RV or fifth wheel or travel trailer, you're going to have to dispose of your water tanks, your gray and black water tanks. This is something you don't have to do in the house. So at home, you pay for your sewage, you go to work, you make money, and you pay for your sewage. Out here, you work to pay for your sewage, wherever your dump station is, or the trash bags, or whatever you're going to use. You got to work to pay for that stuff, and then you actually have to dispose of it. Get rid of it. At home, you don't have to do that. Now you have rent. Rent is the one that everybody talks about, and of course I already just told you, I got to pay rent on my truck, just like you do on your house or your apartment. But here's the cool thing. You pay rent and they cut the grass for you. They do the maintenance for you. You know, something breaks, the toilet breaks, they come out and fix it. If the heater doesn't work, they come out and fix it. So there's a lot of advantages to renting. You're paying for a service. Not only are you paying for a place to live, you're paying for a service. And you get to come home every day, and when you're done with that apartment, you move on to the next apartment. You have complete freedom to move around all you want. Out here, you're still paying the rent, but if the plumbing breaks, you have to replace the plumbing. You have to fix the plumbing. You know, my pump, I'm always having to repair the pump. I don't know, these RV pumps, they don't seem to last very long with this harsh water that we have to use. The water with all this rust in it, these pumps seem to gum up a lot. And so I'm always having to fix it or replace it. I mean, I've replaced 3 pumps now. But in an apartment, you wouldn't have to do that. You know, just the other day, tire went flat. You know, the landlord didn't come out and fix the tire. I had to fix the tire. And the difference between living in an apartment is, like I just said, you can move whenever you want to move. If you sign a year lease, you might be able to sign another year lease next year and a year after that and a year after that. I know one apartment I stayed at in Washington State, I was there 4 years. I stayed there the entire time I was in the military, and when I went back to Missouri, I put in my notice and left. Real easy. Well, out here, you have to move, not because you want to move. You have to move every 2 weeks. You're forced to. This means you have the stress of having to go and find a new place to live. The point of this video is before you just fall in love with the idea that this is going to be so much easier than regular life, and that you don't have to have a job, and you don't have to work as hard. No, I think you have to doubly work. Thanks for watching. Click like if you like the video, and happy travels.